Yo, D-Lo 404. Trying to get a morning video in on my commute to work once again. This video I want to talk about interview I saw on the Boxing Voice. Shout out to Ness. This video was about an interview he had with Eddie Hearn. He released multiple videos, actually multiple parts of the interview on different videos, but this particular one I want to talk about is where Eddie pretty much reveals his hand and says that Eddie pretty much says that AJ will be fighting Dillian and Whyte in April. You know, and the whole purpose of me bringing that up is because of all this back and forth banter that went on with the with all the talk about Wilder lost his pen, signed the contract, etc., etc. When the whole time, you know, Wilder still hadn't received a revised contract to sign, first of all, with the revisions in it that he asked for. I shouldn't even say revisions, with the corrections. I mean, from what's been reported, and even Eddie confirmed, I mean, they sent over a sloppy contract, you know, with major details missing in the contract. So, you know, of course Wilder's not going to sign that. Wilder said, I agree if you fix these points. Points were never fixed. Wilder didn't sign. Eventually, you know, felt like he was just getting jerked around. He'd already conceded and agreed to take a flat $15 million for a fight that was going to make a whole lot more. If he'd make a whole lot more if he got a split of, say, 35%. I think he probably could potentially double the $15 million. But, you know, man wanted to make the fight. He said, okay, I'll sign, so forth and so on. If this is done, that is done. It wasn't done. So there was no reason for Wilder to sign the contract. So he didn't sign it. And then this smear campaign went on. The whole Wilder lost his pen. Does Wilder need a pen? Where's your pen? Sign the contract. Sign the contract. Just a whole bunch of just malarkey. Whole bunch of fuss. So, fast forward to AJ and Eddie Hearn saying that AJ will sign the contract and they'll send it over signed. Eddie and AJ both said that AJ would sign the contract and send it over. And I'm assuming, you know, like everyone else, that when AJ says he's gonna sign the contract, that he's gonna sign the contract. Well, the contract comes over to Team Wilder with Eddie Hearn's signature, AJ's signature, nowhere in sight. And according to what Shelly Finkel released and what Wilder, you know, said in his interview with 78, shout out to 78 Sport TV, the contract was worse than the contract that he had already refused to sign, you know, with even worse concessions in it. So he didn't sign that one either. So, you know, we end up in a situation where, you know, it's looking like the fight, you know, is not going to happen in April without them sitting down, coming back to the negotiating table, pretty much started all over. And, of course, there's been rumors that, you know, AJ may fight Dillian Whyte. I actually did a video about who AJ would be fighting, you know, potential suitors for AJ for April. You know, if he didn't get the Wilder fight. Now, I think I named that video "Who's Next for AJ," or something like that, or I think it was AJ and Team AJ in need of a marquee name for April. I think is what it said. But anyway, you know, go check that video out if you're interested in it. But either way, on this, the interview in question, the interview that I'm responding to with Ness, that Eddie Hearn actually said, he let it slip out his mouth when he was talking about guys, you know, trying to get shots, and he was saying that guys would have to wait on this and wait on that if they won't fight with AJ, and he messed around and said something about, well, you know, what if a guy gets the mandatory, fights Pulev and gets that mandatory, well, AJ decides he wants to fight, or said AJ says, well, I'm fighting Dillian Whyte in April, So you gotta wait on that fight, and then next thing you know, it's October, and this, that, and the third. And this was like, man, you just put a dagger in my heart. You know, you just sat there and said that, you know, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, but he just said something along the lines of, you know, that Dillian Whyte was getting a fight with AJ in April. And of course, Eddie Hearn said, "Oh, well, no, I meant Deontay Wilder. I meant Deontay Wilder, not Dillian Whyte." You know, I mean, and it was just very bizarre, because you know that he let that slip. But then again, I'm not surprised. Eddie's always contradicting himself. He's always tripping up on his words. But you know, I'm just gonna end it on that and say, hey, it's not a fight I want to see. I mean, I think it could be potentially a good fight, but the fight that everyone wants to see is the unification, the fight for undisputed at heavyweight. And I say everyone, and I use that term loosely, but I mean, I think real boxing fans want to see that fight. Now, if you're fans of a certain fighter, you may not want to see that fight for your own personal reasons. Whether you don't have the confidence that fighter can win the fight, you'd rather see him not fight the guy and you know, remain champion. You know, or whatever, but I think for the most part, the biggest fight to be made in boxing is Wilder versus AJ versus Wilder, however you want to spin it. But I think that's the biggest fight that can be made in boxing. But at the end of the day, both those guys have fights coming up. They need to take care of their business in their upcoming fights for that fight to even become even potentially become a reality. I mean, of course, they can still fight, but it wouldn't be nearly as big. So they need to both take care of their business in their upcoming fights. One fight, highly anticipated, seems to be a very hot topic. That's Fury versus Wilder. Povetkin versus AJ, I don't hear anybody talking about. I hear there's zero buzz about that fight. No one's out there clamoring to see that fight. And I'm not even saying that's because it's a no-hoper fight. I mean, I'm of the, one of the guys who actually believes that Povetkin has a shot at knocking AJ out. I mean, I don't want to see it happen because that kind of kills the Wilder fight. But, hopefully AJ goes out there and takes care of his business. Finds a way to, goes out there and wins. And hopefully Wilder goes out there and wins, and, they could come together in April. But based on what Eddie said in his interview, I think it's very doubtful. And I think it's one of those things where Dillian Whyte rematch fits into the plans a whole lot better than a fight with Wilder. I think they think there's too much money on the table that they're risking losing if Wilder goes out there and just, beats AJ. And then I'm not even going to say, destroys him or whatever. If he beats him, I think that's just, they think they're leaving too much money on the table, and that it's going to be hard to sell AJ as he's been sold over the last several years with having been beaten by Wilder. And I think that's Eddie's biggest concern. So don't be surprised if we get Dillian Whyte versus AJ 2 in April, and Deontay Wilder fight someone else coming off of his Tyson Fury fight. I'm gonna end it on that. If you're liking my videos, like I always say, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. If you're not feeling the videos, thumb it down. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm out of here.